Travis Wayne Goodsell, and as a missionary, we were constantly reading from the Book of Mormon, specifically in 3rd Nephi chapter 11. And so I thought I'd read to you a modern reboot, a latter-day reboot. King Trump destroyed America as the saints in Utah who survived were able to flee to the land of Bountiful. And in the land of Bountiful, they heard a voice. And looking up into the sky, they saw Jesus descending from the clouds. And he appeared at the temple in Bountiful. I hope I can make it through without busting up laughing. And Jesus appeared before them and showed unto him the wounds in his hands and his feet. And Jesus called unto the people, Bring ye all the little children who have been Boy Scouts and who have been interviewed by their bishops, that they may sit upon my lap. And then, after Jesus talked with the children one by one, he then called President Russell M. Nelson. And Nelson brought forth, Jesus said first, Bring me all the monies that you have saved for me, that I may see how faithful you have been to me. And Nelson calls for his prophets to bring forth the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of billions that they had been saving for the Lord. And they brought them before the Lord. And Jesus said unto Nelson, Where's the 40 billion from Ensign Peak Associates finances? You trying to hold back from a brother? And Nelson realized that he had forgotten the 40 billion, and immediately went forth and collected it and brought it unto the Lord. And then the Lord said, Where's the 32 billion you got from Russia, laundered through LLC companies and then laundered into the stock market to make King Trump look good with the rise in the stock market? And Nelson realized, oops. And Nelson went and got the 32 billion with interest and brought it unto the Lord. Do you see how absurd this story is? And yet this is what happened. We were supposed to have Zion built. As I've been telling you from Joseph Smith's own talk on 19 July 1840. We were supposed to have stakes of Zion throughout the world, and at this time, when our nation was in jeopardy, we were to call in everybody from the world, from those stakes, and they would come to America to do battle, to save the Constitution, to save the American government. That Zion would be established in America already. That there would be no poor in Zion. And so the first presidency thinks that, hey, we're following the scriptures, the parable of the talents. Jesus doesn't need the money. Instead, they've got themselves deep in scandal. Not just financial, but criminal. As they abandoned the Boy Scouts, leaving them to handle the 8,000 boys that got raped. And then with no money going to the Boy Scouts anymore, the Boy Scouts declare bankruptcy, and those 8,000 boys receive no compensation for damages. Church doesn't protect LDS children. They were victimizing them. And yet Mormons are more upset with me than they are at being able to step back and go, wait a minute, there's something to that. We're not supposed to be neglecting the poor, as the church instead gives to charities, when they themselves are the charity. That's what they filed in their Articles of Incorporation. That's why they built the bishop storehouses with Welfare Square. Alrighty. I was thinking about doing it in a little cartoon form, having a cartoon Nephi or Nelson and cartoon Jesus, and switching back and forth and doing voiceovers. And notice I had to tone down the Jesus and the children. Hundreds upon hundreds of lawsuits for just rape cases. Not talking about the 8,000 for Boy Scouts. Not talking about the many thousands that are stockpiling rape kits that the investigators can't process quick enough, which they've already backlogged because they didn't even bother with it. And BYU punishing victims of rape. And then the bishop, who was also a police officer, raping girls and claiming he was trying to help them. And then the many Mormons who get caught in sex sting operations. Alrighty. Are you enjoying your Sabbath? If you're allowed to have it with the coronavirus going on.